right, you want to talk about Manny Ramirez? He's a lot sexier than Jeff Kent. But our final verdict on Jeff Kent's no.
No.
Manny Ramirez. Better career than Sammy Sosa. Fair?
I think that's fair. At least.
Yeah. Man, when I tell you that Manny Ramirez was a wagon, in a moment, I want to walk you through his 11-year stretch he went on. But first, let's go through his career numbers. 19 years of Major League Baseball, 2,300 games played, nearly 2,600 hits, 555 home runs, 547 doubles, over 1,800 career RBIs, a career 312 hitter with a 411 OBP. That's a 99-point jump, and a career 996 OPS. Manny Ramirez had more WAR than Miggy, Pudge, Tony Gwynn, Eddie Murray, Carlton Fisk, Ernie Banks, Ryan Sandberg, the list goes on. Now his 162 game average. He slashed 312, 411, 585, 38 doubles, 39 homers, 129 runs driven in, 94 walks, 15 intentional walks on a yearly basis, and a 154 OPS plus. The 9-time Silver Slugger and 2-time World Series champ. He went to 12 All-Star games, 11 of them coming consecutively. Now, that 11-year stretch, it started as a 26-year-old in Cleveland. It ended as a 36-year-old wearing Dodger blue. From 1998 until 2008, Manny Ramirez was a 3-time league leader in both OBP and slugging. Each year he led in slugging, he led in OPS. In 9 of those 11 years, he finished top 10 in MVP voting. In those 11 years, he had 9 seasons where he hit over 300. 6 of those 11 years, over 320. 7 out of 8 years within that stretch, he had an OPS over 1,000. And across those 11 years, Manny Ramirez averaged 38 bombs and 123 driven in. Now the juice. Manny was suspended in 2009 for 50 games after he tested positive for HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. HCG, by the way, primarily used as a women's fertility drug, but can also be used to increase sperm count in men. Manny retired in 2011 with the possibility of an 100-game suspension looming over an issue stemming from what was assumed to be another positive test. This guy's numbers, his big game flair, him cutting off Johnny Damon in the outfield, his name in Red Sox lore, he's a Hall of Famer if we're letting the druggies in.
I think Manny Ramirez should be a Hall of Famer. And what's crazy is Manny Ramirez is still playing. 48 years old. He was playing for the Sydney Blue Sox in the Australian League. This is a guy who's still chasing the dream. I mean, say whatever you want about Manny Ramirez. Can't say that he doesn't love the game. I know that he would do anything that he can to continue to play this game.
Yeah. But like now, I mean, he was like player coach galore. That was hilarious.
When you look at Manny Ramirez's, because we were just talking about Sosa's career, and I was like, maybe, but actually looking at it, like, for example, Manny Ramirez only hit 547 home runs, but he has a 50-point advantage in slugging percentage. He was just generally a better slugger and a more imposing bat, one of the best right-handed bats that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I remember just growing up genuinely, like as an 8-9-year-old, like I was genuinely terrified of David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez in that 3-4. Like there's very few times, I mean, even as an adult, I don't really get scared anymore, but there's obviously that like, oh my God, these dudes rake. It went from being genuinely scared as an 8-year-old to as a 24-year-old, just being like, oh my God, like this is terrifying in the sense of that. But like Manny Ramirez gave me physical nightmares. And if you give someone actual nightmares, it's hard to keep you out of the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Manny Ramirez is a legend, and he's a baseball lifer, and he's got an OPS at 996 for his career, almost at 1,000 OPS for his career. He should be in the Hall of Fame. But I mean, the steroids thing, like how long was he taking it for?
Right.
When exactly did he take it? I mean, we're going through a lot of guys who started their careers in the 90s, went in the early 2000s, right in the thick of it.
And here's the thing. Manny is one of the very few on the Hall of Fame ballot that actually publicly failed a drug test.
Yeah.
It's cloudy with a lot of people, but I mean, he publicly failed too.
He had 165 RBIs in 1999.
Yeah, this guy, he's top 20 all time in career RBIs. The only guys within the top 20 with him that aren't in the Hall of Fame are Albert Pujols, who's going to get in unanimously when he is eligible. Alex Rodriguez, we've already gotten into that conversation. Barry Bonds, we're going to get into that conversation next week. And then Rafael Palmeiro. Like, those are the only guys within the top 20 in career RBIs that aren't in the Hall of Fame. And they all, I mean, Pujols doesn't have the thing in common, but everybody else has the thing in common.
Yeah. There's not much else to say about Manny Ramirez. It's just kind of like, does he have the numbers to make it? No doubt about it. How do you value steroids? In my opinion, I've said it before. I think if there are guys already in it, if you meet the criteria, you should just be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think we necessarily have to pick and choose. But if you are picking and choosing, like Manny Ramirez almost makes that kind of echelon that you're talking about, where he is so far a Hall of Famer that maybe if you were picking and choosing, Manny Ramirez might be a guy who you say, all right, he's still in. Would you say that?
Yeah, absolutely. He gets our vote.